right, welcome everybody to Third Life Crisis Games Podcast.
As opposed to our other podcasts that we're doing.
We're figuring it out.
Yeah,
I was thinking how we need to organize some stuff, and I think that's the best way to do it.
Okay,
but we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be doing a few reviews. We're going to be reviewing Screamer, Replaced, and Pragmata, which are games that all came out earlier this year. Each of us has played one of them, and we're going to give time to go over each of them in specific and to kind of just talk about them in general, how we like them, what we thought about them, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So
we also have a special guest today. Dipper is hanging out under our table.
Dipper's hanging out.
We are hoping that he doesn't just get up and decide to trip over the cords and knock everything down
everywhere.
So if we stop abruptly, that might be what happened.
Or if he hears an ambulance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of hope he does.
I hope he does too.
I would put the mic up to him. That would be perfect.
Dude, absolutely.
Is my mic echoing a little bit? Are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. It is just to me. That's fine.
No, that sounds good.
All right. So first one we're going to talk about today, Screamer.
Okay.
So Spencer, why don't you take that? So you can go through
Take the Magic Mouse.
your notes at all.
Not
the
Magic
conch.
Mouse, not the Magic Mouse trademarked by Apple, but the Magic Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sue us so fast.
Yeah, dude. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Or Nintendo.
Yeah.
Deal with either of them.
Yep.
So Spencer, talk to us about Screamer.
Let me talk to y'all about Screamer.
Okay.
Incredible game.
That's what we asked you to do.
Yeah. Yeah, shut up. I'm trying to work here.
I have a job.
I have a job to do. Okay. So I've got some notes here I'm going to be glancing at as we talk. But bottom line, incredible game.
Yeah.
We reviewed Forza last time, and I may have ranked Forza a little high because maybe it's been a while since I played a racing game.
We're gonna
absolutely
have
love this game.
some variance as we settle in on an actual
you're absolutely
rating
right.
system. Yeah.
But Screamer is a racing game, an arcade style racing game. It was, like Nate said, released this year in March. Made by a company called Milestone, an Italian company.
Italian.
Okay. So they did games. They did a Screamer back in the 90s.
Okay.
And it was more realistic. It was as realistic as you could be in the 90s.
In the 90s.
And they were trying to compete with Gran Turismo and stuff, but and it did well. But then they pivoted into motorcycle racing games for 20 plus years. I've never played any of the motorcycle games. I've never heard
Was
of
this
them.
MotoGP, those kinds of games?
Honestly, I can't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, and so they did another Screamer after the first one. It was it was off-roading Screamer. Wasn't highly reviewed. A lot of people didn't play
When you
it.
say off-roading Screamer,
It was
it's
rally.
like Screamer, just
It was realistic racing. It was like a Forza motorsport, but
okay.
for off-roading. So they brought this one. They released this one. They got some good voice actors. Troy Baker, who was Joel in Last of Us.
Yeah.
the Troy Baker.
The Troy Baker. And Indiana
Pigs
Jones.
and Death
Indiana
Stranding.
Jones, yep.
Yeah.
You're not
Which you don't
intellectual
know
enough to play
about,
that
I
game.
have no idea who that
that's
is. Let's see. Okay, so it takes place at cyberpunk, near future or far future. Few 8 teams come together to do a racing tournament, but they've got this new technology that they're experimenting with, which is called the Echo. So when they're driving, if they crash and die, they are resurrected, and their car is brought back. They're brought back a few seconds earlier, and they continue racing.
So it's like the in-game explanation for what you can do in Forza.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
The purge that Colin wanted to do in Forza brought to life.
Yes, exactly. So you're Hiroshi. You're kind of everybody. The story just takes place, but Hiroshi is the main character. And it follows his story. It goes through his background as someone who is a criminal, then becomes part of this syndicate that is like a bounty hunter syndicate. And so they're racing to take revenge on a guy named Gabriel. And if I have that name right, who killed their old leader. So Hiroshi's this amazing racer, and their team has a bunch of conflicts. They're all fighting within each other to be who's the new boss. Then you have some other crews that are coming in to try and win the $10 billion prize or whatever it was.
And I remember, I don't remember exactly what the number was, but it was an obscene amount of
It was an
money.
obscene amount of money.
Crazy
I
amount.
love the inflation that we see in like fictional,
Yeah.
like it's like, oh, you're gonna win $1 million, and now we're like, I mean,
$1 million
that's-
wouldn't do
that-
it.
that's-
too much.
Chump change.
that'll get you a house.
A normal house.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
A
It's
condo.
like, we need to make this life-changing money.
Yeah.
We'll give them 1/1000th of what Elon Musk now has. So
Oof.
yeah,
Jeez.
am I right there? Something like that. Yeah,
Something.
just
It's
about.
I
Yeah.
think it's
That's
1,000.
insane.
Yeah.
So there's some, because it's an arcade style game, there's a couple mechanics. You have the boost and the strike mechanic. So you're building up entropy, they call it, which is just this like bar on the top right. So every time as you're racing at full speed, it's slowly building. And then once you have it charged, you can boost. And then later you get the strike mechanic. And that is the same thing. You once you boost twice, you get the strike mechanic, which is like burnout. You get a boost and you ram into the back of a player and it blows them up.
Which then causes the echo where then they
where
come
they
back
come
to
back.
life. Yeah.
Yep. Which you can use you can use that to either strike or you can use it to shield yourself. So, which I thought it was just going to be normal racing until they introduced this, and it was a game changer. I felt like for the game, because immediately the other AI drivers were like, they were good. They were
Yeah,
good at hitting
yeah.
you, and you had to be conscious about using your shield. You don't have unlimited uses, so it was. They balanced this like the AIs perfectly. I felt like
Mhm.
that they weren't too hard, they weren't too easy, and you had to be kind of careful on when you use boost and strike.
So is this, you said it's an arcade like or arcade style racing
Yeah.
game. Is this what you're referring to
Yeah,
when you say that? Like
I refer to that as like Forza is realistic.
Mhm.
You need to brake like a race car driver would brake.
yeah.
You need to have the timing.
Which is what threw me off because I'm like,
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Exactly.
Because
Like,
I'm
I
not a
do-
race car driver.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, no, you just go full speed into each turn, right?
Exactly.
and
So
then
for
you fly off the edge, and it's
Yeah.
like, all right, well,
for you,
never
it's
mind.
perfect for Mario Kart because
Yeah.
it is. You're almost like you're just. I think I went from Forza, so I was taking my finger off the
yeah,
the
and then you're
gas,
losing every
and
race.
I would lose, yeah. But this is like you're gas. You're got full pedal to the metal all
Okay,
times,
okay.
and then you just brake. You feather the brake, but the style is different. That you have you're turning with your left thumbstick, but then you drift with your right thumbstick.
It's very
It's-
interesting. It's the
yeah.
only racing game that
Ah.
I've ever played that is like
me
that.
too.
Okay.
And so their Steam reviews online were saying that they hated that, which I completely disagree. I love
mean, it's
that
different.
mechanic. It's
Sure.
different, but it's so intuitive. Like it just felt so natural at the end. And as the maps were great, as there's the S turns, and it didn't take long for you to start just getting
Get the feel for it.
natural
Yeah,
to
yeah.
use the
Huh.
right thumbstick.
Cool.
So loved it. So the last little mechanic, when your entropy bar is all the way up, you have overdrive, which is you're just at boost for like 15 seconds. And it's usually, so for the first few-
15, seriously,
it's
15 seconds.
Yeah, maybe I'm exaggerating, but
I mean,
is
that's like a
time.
long time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you for the first half, you're invincible, and so you
Okay.
can just go boom, and you bouncing across walls. But then after that, the moment you touch the wall, you blow up.
Oh.
Like, and I'm
Very high risk,
it's
high
like-
reward.
okay.
You barely touch the wall and you blow up.
Okay.
So, So it's nice. Like it lasts 15 seconds, but
Mhm.
it's really hard to make it last the full 15 seconds.
Okay, gotcha.
And each character that you play as
Right.
has certain overdrive capabilities and powers and
Okay.
different things like that too.
Yeah, like for example, there's one Frederick who, when you use strike, if you boost and hit the wall, you blow up. Every other character does not have that.
Yep.
And then the cars are a little bit different too, which I
Mhm.
had a little bit of beef with because Hiroshi's car is the best and it turns well, but you drive the redheaded lady's car, and it's so way more sluggish when you you drive as a dog at one point too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
A little corgi.
Yes.
And that to me
Who has
was
a
the
cool-
hardest level.
Oh, that was a really hard level. They have a cool car though.
They
I
have a
like
cool
the design
car,
of their car.
But it was
Is it like
so
a talking
hard.
corgi, or is it just
Yeah.
legitimately
It-
someone's pet that's just like?
Well, it's actually the mechanic's pet,
Yeah.
but they
Oh.
are like, I mean, obviously sentient isn't the right word, but sentient to a point where they can communicate with their owner and they can race and they can do all this.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
But you just hear
Gotcha.
them barking.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
But yeah, it took me like 15 minutes. It took me 4 or 5 tries to beat that level. So, so you play in this tournament. You find out something. I won't spoil it. But you find out some crazy
Thank you.
stuff, some background on the Echo, where it came from, and this villain, and what their plans are. So, you'll have to play it to find out exactly what happens. But overall, I absolutely love this game. It was like a 25 hour game. And I felt like I didn't get sick of it. There's this song at the second to last level that is in my Spotify now, and I love it. So the soundtrack was amazing. The story was great. It wasn't life changing, but some of the writing was pretty good. I'll just give you a quick example. Being the cook of a battleship has more power than a captain of a rowboat. Don't you have, but any asks her, but don't you have more freedom as a captain of a rowboat? Not if you're capsized by the smallest wave.
Whoa.
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 I wrote some of these down and I'm like,
Hot
these
take,
are pretty
man.
good. But anyway, so I loved it.
Well,
I would give it
you had more there. Well, give me at least like your second favorite one after that.
well, I mean the classic. So before every race,
Every race.
yeah,
Yeah.
they say, like, instead of 3, 2, 1, they go like a shooting star, burn, and then it starts.
Yeah.
And they have a little boost mechanic too at the beginning.
Yeah.
If you time it right, you can get a boost, which they don't tell you. You just kind of figure that out later.
Okay.
Similar
Yeah.
to Mario Kart.
Similar to Mario Kart.
I was actually playing Forza. I was like, does it matter when I start doing my?
I know.
It doesn't.
That's
but
what I was wondering, too.
the whole time
It
I
was
was
in my
like,
head the
maybe,
whole time.
maybe, but here, yes, I will.
Here
get
it
that
does matter.
satisfaction. Okay.
Yeah. So, so yeah, loved it. And so, out of 10, I would give it a 8.5. I'm going to be more conservative with my ratings.
Okay. Well, so you said that you maybe rated Forza too high.
I did.
Where would you adjust Forza to?
I would put it 8. So if I rate this one 8.5, I'm rating that one as 8.25.
Whoa,
Whoa.
Yeah.
What
I
are
went
we at?
down
Hang
This is
on.
like
Wow.
a 50-point scale
Yeah.
now.
8. What? No, out of 10.
No, I know.
But-
What I'm saying is, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. No, I
So you like this more than Forza?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe it was just because Forza maybe was just too big. I maybe that's a weird complaint. but
I agree. I finally beat Forza like a week ago.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna go through these races.
Yeah.
Dude, it took so long
Yeah.
and it like at a certain point it's tedious. It's like
Yeah.
I have to find all of these random events, and I think I spent too much time on the map just trying to
Yeah.
find the next place to go that would get me the most points so that I could get to the next wristband event.
Yeah.
And no, I don't disagree there.
Yeah, and I think the style, the arcade style, I may prefer. I kind
Yeah.
of felt, even though it's not real racing, I just felt like it was so satisfying. That thumbstick, the drifting mode,
Mm-hmm.
is so satisfying. The strike and the boosting was I just loved it, and I guess I really need a story, even if this
Yeah.
wasn't like groundbreaking or some
You
incredible
didn't
story.
you
I
didn't
just,
like
it
Forza's
keeps me
story? Didn't do
the
anything for you?
non-existing,
Yeah.
the just race until you beat everybody.
I guess there are some story kind of like missions more or less that you can do in Forza. I just didn't really touch them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Because
the
there was
like,
the one with the dude that's like, "Oh, I want to be a photographer," and so
Oh,
you
yeah.
go like take a photo. You're chasing like the right photo spot, which is kind
Yeah.
of
yeah, and if you consider finding the secret garages and
Yeah,
the secret
I mean-
cars around the map, like those are more
That's
story
really pushing
focused.
it,
But
yeah.
no. What I was gonna say is this is definitely a story-driven racing game,
Yeah.
whereas Forza is purely a racing game.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, depending if you're looking for a story, if you're looking for something to kind of pull you along the races, if the races have meaning,
Yeah.
that's what you're
So
gonna
yeah,
want.
that's
Somewhere between, well, I guess Forza and Mario Kart. Mario Kart not having any story,
yeah.
but like also being more arcade like, right? So
Yeah.
somewhere kind of blending those, it seems
Yeah.
like. I mean, would
And-
you say it's like best of both worlds?
I would
in
say
that
so.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
I was looking at reviews about the online gameplay. I never tried that,
Yeah.
and I think there was some gripes about that. I don't
Yeah.
know how big how
Get
many
over
players
it,
there's.
losers.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I might try it when I get home and just see what it's like. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
And I've been recommending it to everybody. You
Yeah.
know, but because I think it's not that expensive. It was like $20.
Yeah, I
think,
want
or
to say
something.
it's a little on the cheaper side.
Yeah, so I was gonna
think.
say if it
Mm.
goes on sale, get it. I don't think you'll regret it.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, at $20,
even
it-
that is
That's $20 full price.
yeah yeah, I think it was
Are you checking this?
Yeah.
You're checking
fact
this.
check. Because yeah, for
Everything
25
throws it
hours,
off because we've got the Steam summer sale going on right now.
Oh right,
Dude,
right.
I was looking at. I got my my email. It's like,
Oh, I
you
love
have
that.
25
I
games on
love
your
that.
wish list on sale. I'm like, frick, dude.
This is a
So
problem.
it is normally a $60 title.
Oh, okay.
But it is
Gotcha.
on Steam Summer Sale right now for $30.
60.
Yep.
Jeez, I thought it was.
I mean,
okay.
it's
I mean, it's 30 hours.
that's what
20,
that's what
25,
you would
30 hour
expect
games.
for a AAA game like
That's
that.
right.
I think you would only expect it to be 30 or 20 if it's like a
Double A or indie.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I think because I'm not super familiar with the studio. I would imagine it's kind of a double A studio. So I think 60 kind
Yeah.
of fits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not a
probably
$70
does,
title, but
yeah. I mean, we're just so used to bumming off of Nate. that,
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
it's like, what? I have to pay for a game?
but hang on, this was bummed off of Nate.
It
so-
was bummed
I
off of
know. I
Nate.
know.
Did you pay? Do you remember?
Oh, of
Yeah.
course he paid full price.
Because I got it on release because
you the man.
this was a game that I was looking forward to.
heck yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you played it. You just really quick. You rate it out of 10.
I would probably give it an 8.
An 8,
Maybe an 8.5. I loved just the story is so anime drama focused. Like you
Yeah.
have, like you said, you have all these teams that are coming into this tournament that internally have all of their, I wouldn't say quarrels necessarily, but their dynamics. And
Mhm.
then they each kind of have beef with another team or another person on another team. And so
There's like a web of conflict.
there's a web of conflict
Yeah.
and everything is the end of the world because it's
Yeah.
an anime
Yeah.
drama type thing. And I think that there's a lot of cool things that happen within that realm of you get into these races with specific people where you have specific objectives. It's not just, oh, win the race. It is win the race and strike Gabriel 3 times.
Yes.
Or it's win the race and
Yes.
go into overdrive mode to beat Gabriel. Or different things like that kind of throughout the
Frickin'
story.
Yeah, I'm glad
Freaking
you mentioned
Gabriel.
that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I did like that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
little challenges were perfect. You would lose the race if you didn't get all the challenges or whatever, and you can make it last as long as you want. You
Yeah.
know, it's good.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't even necessarily win the race. It was finish in the top 3.
Right.
And so
Gotcha.
there were several races that I actually really struggled with, but for the most part, I could do them in the first 2 or 3 tries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. No, I feel like just based on what you guys are describing, $60 sounds like a reasonable price for this game.
Yeah,
but-
it is a racing game with a story, with online multiplayer, with you can design and unlock things for your cars
Yeah.
to change them, which is cool.
That was cool.
That being said, it does go on sale. So, like, yeah, if you want it for $30, you can get it for $30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say if you are looking for a racing game, or if you are an anime fan, or you're just I've heard it described previously. If you're just a fan of hype things, this is it, because similar to what I'm talking about with the anime drama, they just get so hyped over things. And
Yeah.
even just like Spencer was saying, each race starting with like a shooting
Yeah.
star
Yeah.
burn is so dramatic and intense
Yeah.
and hype and cool, and that's the entire game.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for someone who's not, I have enjoyed the anime that I've watched and have a complicated relationship with some of the anime that I've watched.
Understandable.
Yeah. So we watched, you showed Sarah and I Demon Slayer, which I really like, and I also like it. It still drives me nuts every time. It's like my least favorite thing in anime is the cliche of something is happening and they spend a full minute explaining exactly what is happening.
Yeah.
It's like, you're showing me what's happening. I don't need another explanation.
I'm with you.
Just do it. How, I guess, like, on a scale of I guess just a normal American cartoon to like very, very, very anime, how anime is this?
Personally, maybe you disagree. I didn't feel it because I have the
Okay.
same viewpoint as you did.
Yeah.
Like it was very.
So
like,
it's anime in maybe like vibe, but not necessarily storytelling.
yeah. I felt like
cliches.
you could kind of skip some of the dialogue, so maybe I maybe skipped a lot of it.
He skipped the anime.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
skipped the
yeah.
anime
No,
part.
because I would say it is anime in the sense that people are angsty,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
people.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Yep, yep.
lots of and
Yes.
Story of my life, dude.
but there's not necessarily the, I guess, over explanation of things.
Okay.
But that's
Yeah.
probably because it's not an action fighting
Yeah.
type anime.
Yeah.
So I
You-
guess.
You say that like because you showed us Haikyuu, the volleyball one. I was like, they do the same thing there.
Sure, I guess, but I would say Haikyuu is action oriented.
Yeah.
A volleyball action oriented.
Yeah.
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 So because the racing is separate from the storytelling, like
Yeah.
legitimately, it is a race, and then you go into basically a visual novel,
Right.
and then race, and then visual novel, and then race, and then visual novel.
Like, is it presented as like a
Yes.
graphic, like comic book
Yeah, it has their like
Yes.
little
style?
dialogue down
panels
here
with
two
their
characters still image.
sprites.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Neat.
So
Gotcha.
I don't know how you would feel about it, which is why when I very first played the game and I told you two about it, I
Yeah.
was like, I love this game. I don't know if you two would like it.
I
Yeah.
feel like it's probably not as. It sounds like it's in the range of things that I would like.
'Cause
So
I was nervous
Yeah.
about that too. but
Yeah.
I like it wasn't so bad.
yeah, it sounds like worth giving
Yeah.
a shot.
Give
I
it a
mean,
go.
There were cool cutscenes too.
Yeah.
that were in the
Yeah.
anime style that
Yeah.
were cool.
I mean, I've been on kind of like you said, it's cyberpunk kind of. I've been
Mhm.
on like a cyberpunk sort of kick, having played Replaced,
Oh, yeah.
and Cyberpunk.
and Cyberpunk
Cyberpunk.
recently. Man, I was telling Nate, have you played Cyberpunk?
Bryce has been telling my brother's been telling me
Yeah.
about
Did
it
you?
all the time.
Because I thought you said you started it and then you were like,
I didn't. No, I didn't start it.
Yeah,
but
gotcha. So
I
I
might.
was telling Nate I have been playing Cyberpunk, and I think the game is pretty mid at the beginning. And then it gets really good.
Yeah.
And then last week I was like, Sarah was in Greece, and so I was like, my goal is to finish Cyberpunk this week. And I did, and in the process of doing that, I accidentally started Phantom Liberty, which is the DLC.
expansion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you had to keep going.
Dude, and Phantom Liberty's really good. And at that point, like, the skill trees are really good, and I just think they take too long to get to. At that point, I'm getting to the good parts of the skill trees.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm like, dang it. Well, I guess I'm just going to keep playing Cyberpunk.
And you did? And you
yeah,
beat
I'm
the
still,
DLC?
I haven't beaten it yet,
Heck
because
yeah.
that's like another 20 to 30 hours. So
That's a good DLC.
yeah, it is, and I'm happy about it, and like really disappointed because I was planning on moving on to something else. So yeah,
That's fair. No, that's fair.
All right, so Colin, tell us about Replaced.
so if you could take me to my notes here, that would be really great. So Replaced is a really great game. I really enjoyed it. I will give the kind of like overview that that the developer had given for it. So Replaced is a 2.5D cinematic action platformer set in alternate 1980s America scarred by nuclear catastrophe, where Phoenix City stands as a corrupt stronghold of Phoenix Corporation. Play as Reach, an AI trapped in a human body, and uncover the sinister agenda behind your creation as you navigate a world where outlaws thrive and human life is traded like currency. Run, climb, and fight with fluid, precise movement through crumbling districts, industrial wastelands, and neon-lit alleyways. Chain precise melee strikes with satisfying range attacks. In high-intensity combat encounters, Replaced delivers a gripping single-player experience driven by morally complex characters and a deep dystopian narrative. Its retro-futuristic world is brought to life with striking handcrafted pixel art and modern visual effects, all amplified by a moody, synth-driven soundtrack that immerses you in its bleak cyberpunk atmosphere.
More cyberpunk.
More cyberpunk, like I said, yeah. So yeah, I mean, the basis of this game is like you're an AI who, through an accident at the lab that they are at, has been ejected from the machine that it inhabits into the body of its creator. And the AI named Reach escapes the lab and then is trying to figure out what was going on. It's trying to get back to its creator so that it can go back into the machine and then it's basically save its creator. It's actually kind of like really interesting, the relationship between Reach and its creator, Warren. Not to like spoil things, but throughout a good portion of the story, Reach is like talking to Warren as if he's there. Reach has this idea that he is basically like a stranger in this body, that this body isn't his. And so he's talking to Warren because like, oh, this is Warren's body, like, and Warren being its creator, it's like that is who it looks up to. As you go through the story, Reach kind of discovers what is going on here. One of the like main story beats is that in this world, you have these people who are categorized as disposals. And these people who are disposals are those who basically society deems that the value of their organs outweighs the value, like their usefulness to society.
Dang.
And so like the lower class of people in this world are basically used to harvest organs for the upper class. Pretty dark.
That's
like
pretty dark.
it really is. It's pretty dark.
And that maybe not that specific thing, but that idea is a very common thing in the cyberpunk sphere of
that's fair.
Body parts being replaced with generally cyberkinetic type things. And that is definitely a theme throughout the story as well.
Yeah, and here it's less cyberkinetic and more just literally the organs of other humans. Yeah.
So that's why it's called Replaced.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Also, the AI replaces. There's layers to it. It's like an ogre and
and an onion and a parfait
and a parfait. Everybody likes parfait.
Everybody loves parfait.
Yeah. So
wait, really quick. What is 2.5D?
2.5D. It's also, I think, I would say it's the same as like HD 2D. Which is this kind of idea that it is. So here it's like a pixel art, but there's depth to it, right? So you have like
Paper Mario.
Yeah, kind of like that in a
Nice.
way.
Okay.
It's like pixel art that is sort of done 3D, and you see the actual like, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
It is hard
you have
to
a better.
explain. No, because part of me wants to say, oh, but so you're moving in a horizontal plane, but then you can also move this way in a horizontal
Oh,
plane, but you
okay.
can't. So I
Yeah.
think it is more of what Colin is explaining, where the depth comes from the art, where
Oh.
it is not just, I guess, if you look at the classic old school Mario games, where you have what you're running on and you have like some art in the background, but there's not a ton of feel for how deep things
Yeah.
are. This is
This
very much like, oh, I can tell that is in the distance, and I can tell that like there are layers to this world as I'm running in this
Mhm.
valley. There's whatever going
Yeah,
on.
we'll have to cut
Okay.
some B-roll in here to like give
There you
to give an example.
Yeah.
It's like a really beautifully made game. The art style of this game is unique, maybe not as unique as it would have been several years ago. There are other games that have done this kind of style, but I think the way that it still does this style is unique.
Mhm.
I think the combination of the art style with the colors and the pixels
yeah.
is great. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I understand that some people aren't a huge fan of the pixely art
Yeah.
or pixely style of things, but it is very much a beautiful
Yeah.
pixel art style in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And me being a fan of like pixel art styles for sure. Yeah, and I think this game has been a lot of people have been waiting on this game for a while. I think it was delayed a
It's
couple
been
of
delayed a
times.
few times.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it in a series?
No,
Like,
no,
it
this
just-
is actually the debut game of the studio, Sad Cat Studios.
Oh, okay.
This is their first game that they've made. They made a banger.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it has ups and it has its downs. I think one point about this game that a lot of people have talked about is that it is a slower paced game in terms of movement. I think it's only 10 hours. I think I beat it in 11 hours, just under 11 hours. And the game is not very fast paced under normal circumstances. Combat is decently fast paced, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't feel like combat is slow, but your like character movement is generally pretty slow. And I feel like they slow down your character movement outside of combat when you're doing platforming challenges and such.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think like the good parts of the game is the vibes just awesome. The cyberpunk setting is really cool. The HD 2D kind of pixel art style that they do, awesome. It is very cinematic. There are a couple of like set pieces that I think of in particular that I actually like replayed this morning. That they're very, very cool. But it'll do. I mean, in terms of the like sort of 2.5D, like we were talking about, you have the camera kind of like panning across things and giving you the vibe of this is a 3D. It's
World.
a three-dimensional world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Yeah, the two set pieces that I think of, there's like this projector fight scene, and then there's a fight scene on a train that are really, really cool. I enjoyed the combat. I don't think the combat is anything crazy, but it's satisfying.
Can I say something about the combat really
yes.
quick? So if you have played the Batman Arkham
Yeah.
games,
Okay.
so from my understanding and looking into the game, the developers were pitching it, and it was supposed to be a 2.5D Batman Arkham style combat.
Oh, okay.
And so they were kind of going after.
Wait, sorry, you're saying Batman Arkham style combat, or that was supposed to be a Batman Arkham game?
No, Batman Arkham
okay,
style
gotcha,
combat.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Where-
which is what they do here. Yeah.
Yes, and it is very similar. Actually, almost getting to mimic certain color flashes above
Mhm.
different
Yeah.
enemies' heads. That tells you what you can do with. You can parry, you can't parry, you
Yeah.
can reflect, you can do these different things, which is very similar to Batman.
Yeah.
Arkham.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If you played the demo, of the game, I'm pretty sure they like give you the gun earlier than you get it in the actual game.
Oh, interesting.
The gun is cool. Like so it charges up, so you're doing mostly melee combat, and then as the gun charges up, then you can use it. The like in game actually guns are pretty rare. The fact that like he came across a gun is like very kind of like special or just like more or less unheard of, and so that's like a big plot point at one point. But
Yeah.
but yeah, the gun is cool. The finishers are fun. Like if you so at a point where someone is about to attack and it shows you that they're about to attack, if you use the gun, then you'll do like a cool finisher.
Nice.
And
the style of the finishers is very much cyberpunk coded.
yeah,
And it just feels so cool to
yeah.
do.
So you'll do this like you'll just do this like parry block, throw him on the ground, take your gun out, shoot him, and the camera just kind of like moves around with it. They do it really in a way that makes you feel pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think that is what the combat accomplished for me, was that it felt satisfying when you get in that rhythm of you have these enemies kind of coming out and coming around, and you're swarmed by enemies, and you're just kind of like hitting the buttons in sequence to parry this guy, dodge out of the way of this guy, shoot that guy. And I think they actually, one thing that as I was replaying a couple of levels this morning that I appreciated was, I think they do a good job of making it feel like there's a ton of enemies and it's still manageable. One thing that they do, this is not like groundbreaking, but they have a bunch of the enemies that you will be fighting just like in the background, waiting to join the fray. And so as you like take out an enemy, another one comes in, but you see all of these enemies at once.
You know how many you're gonna fight.
Yeah, and it makes you feel like, wow, there's like a ton of guys here.
Oh yeah,
and so it makes you like it feels cool. I think.
Yeah.
And I think the story is good. I think it's it's not like terribly original to have like, it's Pinocchio, the idea of, I'm not saying like it's exactly Pinocchio, but like it's not terribly original in like the idea of a machine entering like a human's body. He doesn't have a growing nose. His nose.
You're confused.
Yeah.
You lost me,
so
Colin.
like his nose grows when he lies, and there's this cricket, and then there's this like really weird scene with this dude smoking a good cigar, and things get kind of racist at some point. No, I haven't seen Pinocchio in years.
I don't know if I've ever actually
It's
seen
too
Pinocchio.
scary. It
Yeah.
was too scary as a
No,
kid.
there's some really weird stuff in that movie. And I think at some point it does get kind of racist, right?
I think
wouldn't
so.
be
It's
shocked.
been too long.
If I
like
remember
you
right.
say.
I don't
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
if not, sorry, Pinocchio and Disney, don't come for us. But but I do think that their take on that story of this AI like learning what it means to be human, as he's trying to like solve what's going on, and they kind of like take the perspective of, as he's in this human body, he's like feeling things that he hadn't felt before, that the body is like changing him. And it's subtle, but I think it's a neat way to contribute to his development. And he meets people, and he kind of learns like what people are doing, that they're not like entirely rational, and that I think about this in terms of like discussions that I've had with certain friends who feel strongly like, oh well, why couldn't you consider AI to be like human-like
Living.
in some ways, And I think this game captures that perfectly, which is that there is emotion and feeling and purpose and irrationality to humans that makes them special. I really like that kind of that point that this game drives towards.
Sure.
So music also really good. Like it's a vibe.
The music is great. I would like it turned up a little bit.
Mm.
There, especially during fight
Especially because there's
scenes,
no voice acting.
there's no voice acting.
So there's no need for it to be
Quiet,
lower.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like during fights when it's
Yeah.
like, I need that
Yeah.
like turned up. 'Cause
Yeah,
there are
yeah,
some
yeah.
fight sequences that are so cool, like you're talking about.
Dude, I need to play this game maybe on my like TV down here with my surround sound system.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
I was
cool.
playing it on my Steam Deck OLED, which looks great, but just for the music maybe.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's no voice acting.
No.
Which
So
was
it's just written
yeah,
dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay.
which has been a major critique of the
Mm.
game that I've seen.
yeah.
I don't know if it needed it.
You felt like it did, Nate?
I don't know if I would say it needed it. I think it would improve the game,
Yeah.
but I am not super heartbroken that it didn't have it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. You can scroll down a little bit and I can talk about like some of my critiques of the game.
Oh yeah.
Okay, my least favorite thing of the game is when you are platforming and you like fall off an edge or something. I don't think that the platforming isn't very crisp. Like it's okay. I don't think they indicate all that well where you can jump and where you can't jump, and when you go off this ledge and there's going to be a secret versus like there's not going to be a secret. And I think it takes you too long to respawn, and sometimes you respawn too far back. And
Mm.
every time it fades to black and gives you this like snare drum. And every time I hate that noise.
So let's talk about that for a second, because I that was one of my least favorite parts of the game as
Yeah.
well. Interestingly enough, exploration was really fun.
Yes.
Because and you haven't talked about this yet, and I'm sorry if
No,
this is gonna steal your thunder.
you're good.
You find these secrets, or you find notes, or you find music tracks, and you the way that you look at them is you pull out kind of like an old tape deck, kind of that, or that
Yeah, it's like a
has-
Walkman.
Yeah, it's like a
sort of thing.
Walkman.
Yeah.
And
It's super cool.
It's so cool, and it just totally fits the vibe and the aesthetic of this like 80s cyberpunk
Yeah.
retro
It's not
punk
a
in
menu.
way.
It's like this Walkman that is this 2.5D sort of 3D-ish pixel art that you're holding in your hand. And as you're navigating it,
The
he's like
thumb
scrolling it with
scrolls,
his
yeah.
thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
cool.
that
It's
the
cool.
Walkman is like such a highlight of the game.
Well,
It's,
I
like,
mean,
part
it-
of the
Look, if you look at it, you'll be like, okay, this is pretty
That's
sweet.
cool.
yeah.
and so it's such a bummer, going along with what you're saying. It's such a bummer that exploration was so painful at times, because yes, I think that there might be something over there, but then your character is walking so slow, and then
Yeah.
you try to make a jump and you miss it, and then you're
Man,
back.
Respawn way
missing
back.
You
jumps
spawn-
is
yeah, you
just
spawn
the
way back.
worst, dude.
And it's like, okay, well, like I think that there's something over there, so I'm gonna go back, but it's gonna take a bunch of time,
Yeah.
What-
and so
There
what
are
determines your respawn point? It just
it's actually unclear. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. There were so many times where I was like, I think I can jump over there, and then I try to jump over there, and then I hit the wall and just slide down, and
and then
Die.
the snare drums.
and it fades to black. I restart way further back than I would have liked, and
Oof.
I'm like, oh, dude, yeah,
So the exploration, I think, is rewarding,
yeah.
but it's painful to get through.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's another thing. I liked it, but so much of the story is told through
The notes.
the notes that you find.
Yeah.
And which I think for me was bothersome because those are collectibles, and so you can miss them.
So you miss parts of the story.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
you
Oof.
can miss like a lot of background to the story. I remember looking afterwards that some people explain some stuff, and I was like, and they're like, "Oh yeah, in this place, like this thing explains such and such, and this person's motivations or whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, I wish it had been a little bit more explicit about some of those like important story beats that you can only find through these like." And also, some people aren't going to read them.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people are going to get them and they're not going to read them.
But I guess you could say that that's very similar to any FromSoft game, right?
Yeah,
where-
but I'm not playing a FromSoft game for the story.
No,
I
For
don't
sure.
know what happened in Elden Ring.
No.
Like, I played that for over 100 hours. I still don't know what happened.
No, I guess all I'm getting at is that is a way that people try to tell stories.
Yeah.
Whether that's the correct way for a certain game or not depends.
Yeah. I think this isn't like this is a pretty half-baked opinion. I think it could have done with more like environmental. No, it does pretty good environmental.
I think it does good environmental.
Yeah, it does good
storytelling.
environmental storytelling. I think just like some of those story beats would have done well elsewhere.
Played out, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I get you.
But yeah, so I think the story could be a little bit more clear. Not super great indicators about some things. I go back and forth on this one as to whether or not it could have used more combat. I think combat was my favorite part. At the same time, as I was thinking about this one, like combat not being the most unique thing, I think it probably had the right amount of combat. I think I just didn't enjoy the platforming as much as I would have liked to. I think it would have done better, less platforming, more puzzles. Like more explicit puzzles than platforming.
I like that.
Yeah. I think that would have been better for this game.
Yeah.
There were a few like decent puzzles, but in my mind that would have played out better.
Yeah, I think so. I
My
would,
constructive criticism for Sad Cat Studios' next game.
there you go.
Yeah.
More
Nice.
puzzles.
Yeah, more puzzles.
I think I agree with you. I think that there was the right amount of combat, maybe a little too much.
Yeah.
Especially, and this is where the type of game comes into play, but it's hard for me when games that don't give you rewards for combat have a bunch of combat.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
then eventually it's like, we don't need to have this fight. We
Yeah.
don't need to have this right now.
Yeah.
So I would say that I was leaning towards it maybe having a little too much combat. But
Yeah.
honestly, it's like the combat, in my opinion, wasn't anything that was standout. It was fine. It
Yeah.
was good.
I think I just liked it more than the platforming.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sounds like it's not my kind of game. A lot of reading.
yeah.
Combat's not great.
Yeah, it's not Spencer's kind of game because he doesn't know how to read.
If there's reading involved, I just skip.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's why you still haven't finished Outer Wilds, probably.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, then that is a good transition
I'm
point.
gonna bully you into playing Outer Wilds,
I'll have to
finishing it one
buckle
of these
down
days.
and read.
Yeah.
One, would you recommend it to someone? And
Yeah.
two, give us your score for it.
I would recommend it to most people. I think. I think it's just like, I don't know. I think it depends. If you like a game for art and style and vibes and like pretty good gameplay, like I thought the gameplay was good. Like I enjoyed it. I didn't hate playing it. Except for, then yeah, definitely like easy recommend.
Maybe if you were a better player, Colin, you wouldn't hear that snare drum so much.
yeah. I think I would give it I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I think just because of how much I enjoyed it. The end of the game is good. I think some of those set pieces and some of just like there's some really good moments in this game. The climax of this game, like the story climax of this game is pretty I got in a little bit of trouble with Sarah that night. I was playing this part of the game where it's
Stuff is happening.
Stuff is happening and it's getting really intense, and Sarah's asking for my attention. And I'm in the middle of this. I don't want to stop it. And yeah, so yeah, I think that's all super good. I just think that there are like a few things that hold it back, in my opinion.
Sure.
So
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
reasonable.
yeah,
Bingo.
All right, let's get into Pragmata.
Pragmata.
So a little bit of introduction for Pragmata. Pragmata was developed and published by Capcom. Capcom is on a tear right now, if you all aren't aware.
Can you just go through? Yeah, I want to hear a little review because I'm not super aware.
of Capcom?
I mean, I know what Capcom is.
Yeah. I'm
What
not
is their
familiar
tear?
with their game.
Sh-
I mean,
was,
I
was
am
unfamiliar
kind
with
of.
your game.
Yeah.
Capcom over the last several years has been putting out, I guess I don't know if I would say banger after banger, but everywhere from the Resident Evil remakes that have
Oh,
done
yeah.
very well, the Monster Hunter games that have been doing very well, um, the Resident Evil 9 Requiem this year that was awesome, Pragmata, and they have Onimusha coming up this fall, and they have just been I was not as into Capcom gaming several years back when they were going through a bit of a rough spot, but they
Yeah, I
since
was going
then-
to say, I think most people weren't as into Capcom gaming several years back.
yes, and I
Yeah.
think they have really kind of turned things around, which is cool.
Nice.
A little bit about Pragmata. So this April, there were 3 games that I was really interested in: Mouse PI for Hire, Replaced, and Pragmata. We already talked about Replaced. Mouse PI for Hire is another game that I could talk a long time about. It's a great game. But Pragmata was the one that I was most worried about. It has been delayed numerous times. They actually have a very infamous thing that happened, and I can't remember what showcase it was at, but they had a showcase where Pragmata showed up, and all it was the little robot girl Diana with a sad face poster that she was holding, just telling people that Pragmata was delayed again. And so it was kind of, I wouldn't say maybe in rough waters, but it was in a spot where people were concerned, and I was definitely a part of that. Then you see that kind of the main thing about Pragmata is this hacking mini game that happens all throughout the game, and the concern was, oh, is this going to get old? Is the gameplay going to get stale? Is it going to be as fun as we want it to be? And so all of that to kind of frame what I was going into Pragmata with. And I will tell you right now, Pragmata overcame all of that, and Pragmata might actually be my
Nice.
game of the year.
Wow.
It is
Really?
fantastic. I love Pragmata. It. Well, let me get to the details later. To give a brief kind of overview about it, it is set in the future where there is this giant space station up on the moon. There's this. There are these machines called limb replicators, and they use stuff called Luna filament that you can find on the moon to basically 3D print anything. Like anything you can think of, Luna filament can make. You play as Hugh, who is a engineer mechanic who basically goes to the moon to help repair the comm system, because for some reason the communication between the moon system and the Earth has gone kaput. So he shows up, and basically everything has gone wrong up on the moon, and the story is about you as Hugh running into this robot girl, which is called a Pragmata, named Diana, and her helping you out because you need her help to defeat the robots who have gone bad. You need Diana because these robots have really intense armor, and you can't actually, your bullets don't do anything until you hack them, which is the mini game, which is what Diana does. You hack them, and it opens up their armor, and then the bullets that Hugh shoots can actually do damage, can actually take out the robots. So, and the game is basically just about their adventures in doing that and finding out what's wrong on the moon for the space station and fixing it.
Yeah.
So is combat more hacking or shooting?
Yes.
Okay.
So it really, one of the core part about this game that I loved is it is a pat your head and rub your tummy situation where time it is not like in some other combat where like time stops for you to hack. No, it is all real time. So you are moving with the left thumbstick and you are hacking with your face buttons.
Okay.
And all while these robots are either shooting you from distance, are charging you, are doing area of effect attacks on you. And so you are having to be very aware of what's going on while moving, while trying to shoot, while hacking at the
I
same
love that
time.
idea.
Okay. So you're like, but you would only be hacking. you hack and shoot at different times. You wouldn't be hacking because you can only shoot after you've hacked,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So while you are hacking, you would be moving around
And dodging.
You're dodging
Yeah.
while you're hacking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
Gotcha.
hack each robot individually? Is it like a
yes,
group?
there are some power-ups that you can get to Diana's hacking ability that will give you multi-hack, which you hack this one and it will hack the ones around it kind of thing. But for the most part, it is individual. There are 3 robots. One of them's a flying one that's trying to snipe you. One of them is charging at you, and one of them will jump and do an area effect attack. And
Okay.
you're moving around.
And you can
I want to hack this one really quick. I hack it. I shoot at it. Oh, that one is now up. I'm going to hack it really quick and shoot at it. And
Is it first person?
it
Or
is third person.
third person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say it was a lot to try to do at first and to try to manage, so much so that Annie, who watched me play through most of it, would get very exasperated with me
Yeah.
because I would take damage in
Classic.
situations that I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Similar to in Expedition 33, how
Yeah,
I was
when she was like,
dodge.
just dodge. And
Parry
you would
only.
only parry.
parry only.
Yeah.
And so I would do these things where the enemy is like about to hit me with their sword, and I'm in the middle of the hack, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna finish the hack really quick, much to my detriment most of the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially, so I was playing this on my Xbox Elite controller that has the back paddles that I have mapped to the face buttons.
Mhm.
It's very intuitive to think about the hacking just with the face buttons.
Oh, doing it with the back paddles.
Oh,
would
Doing
not
it with the
be-
back paddles is
We've
very
talked
different.
That was
Yeah.
actually I
Two
tried to do the
sides.
same thing on my Steam Deck with Helldivers once.
Yes.
That I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh,
Yes.
I'm just gonna map the back paddles to the arrow keys that I can use for calling in stratagems. Did not work. I
Yeah.
had to come up with a different solution.
And-
No, so think like the way that I have A on my middle right finger, B on my ring right finger, X on my middle left finger, Y on my middle or on
Yeah.
my
There's
left
no
ring finger.
intuitive
Because
way
it's
of
because it's
connecting those.
directional.
Yeah, so the
Right?
hacking
Yeah.
normally with the directions on the face buttons is Y is up, A
Yeah.
is down, B is right, X is
which
left.
makes sense.
Which makes sense.
when you
But
turn
when I
that
try
on
to
the-
do that with
Yeah.
my back paddles, it was super tricky.
yeah.
And it took me a long time to get used to, but eventually I did get used to it.
Okay, so you did end up sticking with the back paddles
Yes.
for it.
Wow.
Okay.
Much like Perry's in Expedition.
Yeah.
Once he commits, he's all in.
Yeah.
And I will say the combat was awesome.
Yeah.
It got to a I wouldn't say a flow state, but it got to a point where you get into a combat situation and I immediately am hacking this guy's coming at me. I dodge to the left, I keep hacking, I break it open. I know that's gonna armor being open is gonna last a while, so I'm gonna turn to this guy that's still attacking me. I'm gonna hack him really quick, and then I'm gonna shoot and kill him, and then shoot and kill the one that was attacking me before.
Gotcha.
And it just felt very rewarding. It felt like
Yes.
I'm sure that we've talked about this before, but you talk about the engagement level of people and how being too difficult and then you lose engagement, being not difficult enough you lose engagement, but being just the right amount of difficult can keep you engaged and keep you interested in whatever you're doing. And I think that fit the bill very well with this.
Yeah, because I was looking at Steam reviews for this game, overwhelmingly positive. Like, it's crazy how good
Really?
reviews got for this. And so I just searched negatives, and it did say that the
You're
mini
always
game-
looking for the negatives, man.
always you got to look for the
Dude,
negatives.
Yeah, dude.
There's too much positivity in the world.
You're right. We have
Yeah,
so
man.
much
Everyone's
positivity.
way too happy.
Yeah,
too
I'm just like
good.
too stoked about everything that's going
yeah,
on,
you're
man.
darn right. No, but there's a couple I read was like, oh, the mini game gets old so fast. Like, do you agree?
No, I
'cause
never
It doesn't sound like it.
I never felt that. It always felt rewarding to complete a hack.
yeah.
And so I kind of mentioned this earlier with Diana's multi-hack that you can add in. So each time that you load out, when you leave the home area, you can equip Diana with certain extra hacking abilities, whether it's multi-hack, whether it's an extra long hack, whether it is your hack also does damage, like that kind of thing. I never got old of it. It was always, I'm in this encounter. oh, cool. Like, let me at the last second, like I was saying, at the last second, complete this hack and kind of stagger the enemy a little bit and keep going. And it always felt rewarding. It never got, and I guess let me say this, it took me about 11 hours to beat the game, 10, 11 hours.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
And I never got tired of the hacking.
11 seems short, but yeah.
Yeah. Because you were saying with Replaced that you felt like, let's see, you didn't feel like the combat was. I feel like you referred to it not like actually getting anything out of the combat as far as like not getting, I don't know, experience or rewards or whatever.
Yeah.
Does Pragmata have that, or is it just that the combat is fun enough that you didn't care about that as much?
It's both. So
Okay.
the combat was fun enough, but also you would get a currency that you could then spend back at your home base to upgrade your base stats, to buy other things.
Let me guess, was the currency Luna filament?
Oh gosh.
Luna dollars.
Luna money?
Luna bucks.
I think it was Luna something.
Well, because you were saying that like the stuff that you find on the moon, I would have
Yes.
assumed that it's just like, oh, it's the special thing.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think it was, but
Okay.
I could be off there.
Man, I'm so good.
And there were a couple different types of currency. Where
Yeah.
like some currency would help you upgrade this or unlock this, and other currency would do other stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was rewarding and it felt worth it because I knew I was getting something out of it
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
So 11 hours, and it was a $60 game, I assume, because it's AAA.
No, this one was
I-
less,
I
right?
think it was either 50 or 60.
Do you
Oh, okay.
do you feel like 11 hours was good? Do you wish it was longer?
No,
Or-
I loved the 11 hours. And I guess I'm at a spot in my gaming career
Oh,
where
it's 60.
60
Yeah.
where I'm not necessarily looking for a game to be 40, 50, 60 hours long.
I feel that.
I love when a game comes in, it has its story, it has, and I don't even know if I would call the hacking game the gimmick, but like you could say
Yeah.
the
Little
gimmick.
mini game thing.
And you play the story, and the story is impactful, and you're done.
Yeah.
And I'm all about that.
I agree.
I was talking with a coworker recently about this tangentially related, but I had mentioned that I had been playing Dragon Age Veilguard,
Mhm.
and I thought the combat was fun, and I enjoyed it, and now I'm like 40 hours into the game, and there's like two main villains in the game, and you have this big battle with one of the main villains, and you're like about to kill them, and then they don't die. And I'm at the point of the game where I'm like, this game is just outstaying its welcome. Like, I think it would be a really fun game if it were like 10, 20 hours, 30 hours max.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like, man, at a certain point, it just drags
Yeah.
on.
yeah.
And it's like, I can only do the same thing so many times.
Right.
And that's where I'm at, where
Yeah.
give me a 10, 12-hour game that just hits
Yeah.
and it tells you the story and it gets out, rather than a game that feels like it just drags. And it's like throwing content at you simply to throw content at you.
Yeah.
So,
I think,
yeah.
and I guess I think an open world game is another matter, because you could
Yeah.
do
You could throw
certain open world games you could
more
do
hours
in a
in it.
shorter amount of time, right?
Right.
If you just do the main story. But I think especially like linear story games a lot of times, with the obvious exception for like fantastic games like God of War, that it's like, okay, this is going to take 30, 40 hours, but this is just an amazing experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Most games don't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Did you have another part of that question, Spencer?
No,
or is
no.
that-
Go ahead.
Did I interrupt you?
No, I'll forgive you.
Oh,
It's fine.
well,
I forgot anyway.
I mean, I didn't
forgot anyways.
I didn't hear myself apologizing.
Jerk.
So some other praise for the game. I thought the pacing was, and going along with the general length of the game, I thought the pacing was really good. You were never in one area for too long. You
Yeah.
never went too long without coming across an important story beat
Yeah.
or a boss or anything.
How were the environments? Like, how did it have? Because this all takes place on like a lunar base. Like, did it feel like it had variation to the places that you was it pretty samey?
So I would say that would be a minor critique of mine.
Yeah.
So you're on the lunar base, and
Which
you,
for like 10 hours probably isn't a huge deal.
Yeah.
but-
True.
but you still go through an area that is like a mimic of New York Times Square.
Mm.
You go through obviously just your classic space station corridor type
Yeah.
stuff. You go through an area that is supposed to be the botany, like there's just a bunch of plants and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And so there is variety to it. You
Yeah.
actually are on the surface of the moon for parts of it, so there is
Mhm.
variety. I wouldn't say there's a great variety.
Okay.
So that
Yeah.
would be maybe a mini critique.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't sound like it really got in the way of enjoyment for you.
No.
Or maybe it wasn't even something that you thought about at the time and just.
yeah, it was not something that I noticeably was thinking, man, this game is all the same.
Yeah. Okay.
And then another one I want to call out for a praise is Diana's voice actor. Her name is Grace Saif, and she did fantastic.
Yeah.
We actually just got off a call with my sister-in-law, Elise, and they have a daughter who's not as old as what Diana is supposed to be, but I
Uh-huh.
thought that Diana's actor did such a good job portraying a 6, 7, 8-year-old girl.
Okay.
I don't spend a lot of time with nieces that I have or with friends who have girls around that age, but when I do, and I then interacted with Diana in the game, it was like she actually she's nailing what a girl this age acts like, sounds like, it portrays in
Yeah.
a way. So want to give a shout out to her before I get into some criticisms.
yeah.
The writing in this game is maybe not the greatest, and I would say the writing in particular for the main protagonist, Hugh.
Yeah.
You are this engineer.
Hugh is such like a goober name, I feel like.
I
I
would
feel
say
that too.
I would say
I-
Hugh is a goober / milk toast name.
Yeah.
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 And that he is definitely portrayed that way.
Yeah.
There are several times
I love me some milk toast.
I love
They said
Cinnamon
milk.
Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
There are like certain lines that he has where he just says very cliche things. Like he first shows up and he meets Diana, and they're off starting their adventure, and Diana goes like, "So why are you here?" And he's like, "Oh, gotta pay the bills."
Oh,
And it's just like the most cliche, like basic thing you can think of.
Yeah.
One of the main parts,
He doesn't have some dark backstory to like
Well,
how he got blackmailed into being there or whatever.
no, and that's not even what I'm getting
Yeah.
at. It's like there's a way that you can say like, "I'm here to pay the bills." Like there's
Yeah.
a way to say that and to write that is not so just kind of boring and straightforward.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not just like a cliche that people say.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest part here is the story. Probably the key part of the story is Hugh and Diana's relationship growing, because he starts out where he is someone who he doesn't like kids, and literally he has a line where he says, "I just don't like kids, never have." and it's like, oh, so you couldn't think of another way to
like show that
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe he's just like a little annoyed with Diana,
Yes.
like
It-
yeah.
it is just the most like, here we're
It's
gonna
very,
put the facts.
yeah, like what's the word for that? Like expositional, like expository, I don't know. There's a word, like expository dialogue where it's
Yes.
just telling you
Exactly
what is
things are.
happening, how things are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of there being some
Any sort of
nuance to
depth,
him.
like-
yeah,
Yeah.
there's no depth, there's no
Yeah.
nuance. It is just, I don't like kids, never have.
Yeah, yeah.
And granted, the story is about that changing.
Like, at least have some tact, Hugh.
Yeah.
Jeez, don't tell that to the 7-year-old girl.
he
Well,
definitely is portrayed like a bit of a meathead, or like he
Yeah.
doesn't think a lot.
Yeah,
Which I guess if that's what they're going for, the writing portrays that.
yeah,
So
They nailed it.
they nailed it. But yeah,
yeah. But I don't necessarily see a character that's like a dumb meathead and think that's who I want to play. That's the game
yes.
that I want to play. That's who I would like to role play as.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there are maybe better ways to write a meathead, or
Yeah.
more lovable ways to write a meathead.
Yeah.
and
Would you
this-
consider like Kratos kind of that stuff?
Oh
where-
no,
where
Kratos is
he's
super
not a
deep.
meathead. No, but I'm
No.
saying that's the correct way.
Oh.
like where
Oh,
he,
a correct
like-
way of doing it.
he's like
sure.
not really into like being a father or
Yeah,
but like he's
I mean, I guess
you-
that sounds like a good example of
yeah,
like
like the better way of
that's
writing
the show not
character.
tell sort of like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
If only Hugh were a god of war, you
Hugh-
know.
Hugh the God of War.
Yeah.
But I will say the story maybe meanders, and it definitely maybe doesn't keep me. The story is not what pulls me through the game,
Yeah.
but I will say the ending is very good.
Yeah.
And the ending, I wouldn't say made me tear up, but the ending made me feel, which I was not expecting based on how
At the end,
most of the rest
Hugh
of the game was
goes,
going.
I like kids now.
He
I
straight up
didn't like
tells you,
kids before this, but I like kids now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
You're all right, kid.
You're all right,
kid.
So I will give them credit there.
Yeah.
In that while
like
maybe
they landed the plane.
they landed the plane in a good way, maybe not with the greatest writing, but I think there's a payoff.
Yeah.
At the end.
Did it bring a tear out of your eye, Nate?
I already said almost.
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 You
Okay.
know you can't get a tear
You
out of
can't.
them.
I mean, maybe we
I
can
try.
find a game.
Yeah.
We try.
One last critique that I'll give is, and I don't even know if this is a critique. This is just an idea. I think it would have been really interesting and cool if they did to this what was done in Mario Odyssey with Cappy and what was done in Donkey Kong Bonanza with Pauline. Having a second player play Diana and
nice.
do the hacking, I think would be really interesting.
Mm.
It would diminish the gameplay for the single player experience or for the first player, because then you're
Yeah.
not
Make
having
it
to go
easy.
through like the pat your head and rub your tummy.
Have you
type of-
considered
Right.
just sharing a controller?
Having
but
one
then you
hand.
couldn't look like there are mods out there that you can set this up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't come out of the box though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will say it would have been really interesting to do that, and I think it would have been fun playing with Annie to go through this.
Oh,
Yeah.
Then that just wasn't
Yeah.
available to us.
So it would be cool. I mean, like I would imagine you'd probably need to add some additional layer of complexity.
yes, I
but,
think so.
yeah.
I think so. But yeah, overall, I would say this game is. I think that this, along with probably Mina the Hollower
Yeah.
and Resident Evil Requiem, are like my top games this year.
Nice.
So
Okay.
I would recommend it to, I think, anyone.
Do I have to put this on my backlog now?
I would throw it on your backlog.
Okay. All right.
And like I said, I don't know if I scored it already. I think I would give it a 9 out of 10 overall.
That's
Okay.
solid. What'd you get Forza again?
I think I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
But they're very, I mean, obviously just very different.
You rated it as a racing game, I think, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
You're smirking. Why are you smirking?
No, it's fine.
What?
I just misheard you. I misheard you, and I'm not gonna tell you what I heard.
Okay. Off mic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So do you have any last questions for Pragmata? About Pragmata?
I was just wondering if you think that what you think about potential sequels, if they leave room for that, if that's something that you would want out of this game.
That is a good question.
Thank you. I came up with it.
Yeah.
I know you did. It's interesting because the game actually has, from my understanding, 3 different endings. And it's, from what I understand, there is a secret ending that you can only get to in New Game Plus. Without New Game Plus, I think there are 2. There's a bad ending and a good ending, and I don't know what you have to do to get the good ending or the bad ending. From my understanding, I got the good ending, which definitely could have a sequel. The secret ending could have a sequel, and they might be different based on what they go with, like the canon ending.
Gotcha.
But I think they definitely could do a sequel.
Yeah.
And I think it would be really interesting based on what happens in the game, what happens with characters, where they go. I think you could have a really interesting sequel. I don't know how they would change gameplay mechanics based off of it in terms of environment and in terms of progression of the characters through the main story. I think it would be really interesting to see what they could come up with the sequel.
Yeah. What's the biggest thing that you think you would want to be different? Or you would want to see them do differently?
I don't know if I
Nothing.
I don't
It's
know.
perfect.
But see, here's the thing.
perfect
I'm not
game.
trying to argue that the game was
Yeah.
perfect. I just don't know if there's much about it like that I would change in terms of gameplay mechanics.
Yeah.
Just the writing, maybe.
The writing,
Writing,
yeah.
just-
yeah.
But in terms of the game itself, like I think it just is very, like we talked about, it's very well paced. It's very well, like the mechanics work good together. You have the combat, which gives you the currency to then upgrade your stuff so that combat feels better.
Yeah.
So I don't know what if I would change much. Really, I think
okay.
maybe just if they did things. And here's where it's like, that's why you're a game designer and I'm not. I think I'd be really interested to see tweaks they'd come up with or next steps or evolution of the hacking minigame.
Yeah.
Or what playing as different characters might look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Cool.
that's awesome. Unrelated a little bit, but have you guys ever done New Game Plus? Have you ever beat a game twice in a row?
I'm not a New Game Plus
Yeah.
person.
I'm also not really a New Game Plus person. There have been a couple of games that I thought about doing it with. I think someday I'll maybe do it for Expedition 33,
Mm,
but beyond that, yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
I did God of War 1. I did.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
do
cool.
the new game.
did
Yeah.
you do it on Give Me God of War?
Give
No.
me God of War.
Yeah.
I think my brother did, but it's just I don't want to deal with those Valkyries.
It's like
Yeah.
one shot kills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even to like
uh-uh.
easy enemies. and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. No, it's way too hard.
Well, hey, thank you both for your reviews today. Great job on Screamer. Great job on Replaced.
Great job on
Thank you,
Pragmata.
Thanks. I wasn't fishing for that.
I
at
think
all.
you were.
Yeah, I think he was.
Thank you all for sticking around and watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, comments about any of the games that we played,
Comments about Nate's haircut.
critique. I haven't got my haircut in a while. Actually, I'm due for
Yeah,
one.
you
Yeah.
need one.
Maybe the comments
It
are what I
shows.
should do to my hair.
Yeah.
yeah.
Should I
Oh,
shave
yeah.
it? That's on the table. But my
Yes.
city wouldn't like that because that would mean that I wouldn't need haircuts from her for very much longer.
You're right.
Yeah.
She's
If
not
you
gonna
just
like that
went
at all.
full. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Which I think is why
Maybe
Eddie-
Sydney would be ready to be done with you.
maybe
Actually, no.
probably.
You brought her tri-tip.
I did.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did.
Yeah.
Because
I heard
I was
about
talking
that.
about smoking one time with them, and I told them, and I
And
guess,
then he said, "Let's smoke some fat doobies together."
oh my gosh, I apparently Avery is from where tri-tip originated, and
You
so
can't
then
say that.
What?
You can't just definitively say where tri-tip originated.
no, but there is a very
Yeah.
like that is a thing.
So like Central California
That's
is
silly. I don't
is
believe that for one
pretty much
second.
it's
I'm
famous
pretty sure
for
people
tri-tip.
have been grilling and smoking meats for since
yeah.
the dawn of time.
but tri-tip as a cut of meat.
Yeah,
Mm.
it, definitely. Like,
Wow, we really messed.
I did
messed up
not
Spencer
expect to
here.
get that reaction.
No,
Yeah.
the gall of people to claim that they invented.
Okay, we'll have to do
Eating
some
meat.
research on this, I guess.
We will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be a Third Life Crisis smokes.
Yeah.
And that'll be a
Ooh.
playlist.
Yeah.
I like
There
it.
you go. Anyways, thank you all. Leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the games that we reviewed, and we will talk to you later. Love you. Bye.